when you were paying off the debt, what would you say was the most challenging part of the debt-free journey? Like what, in those 8 months, what would you say was the most challenging?
We were quite strict with our spending, and it's the mum guilt, really. You know, the kids were really good. They never asked for anything, but, you know, their friends were buying stuff, doing stuff, and we weren't doing much apart from going to the park. And I felt really guilty. And
hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, thanks for stopping by. My name's Tolu, and on this channel I share content all around personal finance, budgeting, frugal living, and I show you how to live your best life on a budget. If you're a returning subscriber, thanks for coming back to watch another video. It's amazing to have you here. So today's video, what I'm going to be doing is bringing you episode number 2 from season 2 of Tea Money Talks. In this episode, I spoke to an amazing money blogger. Her name is Ruth, and her blog is called Money Savvy Mum UK. And in this conversation, we spoke all about her own personal debt journey. So Ruth and her husband were able to pay off over £21,000 worth of debt within the space of 8 months. Yes, you heard me right. She paid off over £21,000 worth of debt within a short space of time, 8 months to be precise. So absolutely incredible, the achievement that she was able to make in such a short space of time. So I was really excited to get into that conversation with Ruth and really find out exactly how she was able to do that on a moderate income in such a short space of time. So you guys are in for a treat. So at the moment in the UK, it's currently Debt Awareness Week, and that's why I spoke about debt in the second episode. And this is a perfect segue for me to tell you about my new ebook, which I recently launched. It's called How I Paid Off £36,000 worth of debt. Now, in that ebook, what I do is I talk about my own personal debt journey and the 10 steps in which I took to subsequently pay off that £36,000 worth of debt. So if you're interested in downloading a copy of my new ebook, head to the link in the description box below and grab yourself a copy. But without further ado, I'm going to jump into season 2, episode number 2 of Tea Money Talks with the amazing Money Savvy Mum UK.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming on. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to have you on the live with me today. How's it going?
I was terrified. I'm still terrified, but I'm going to talk and try and, you know, get my story out.
Yes, absolutely amazing. No, thank you once again for honouring my invitation, and thanks for coming to join us on this live this evening. It can be quite intimidating that doing Instagram live, but just see it as a conversation between friends.
Reminds me of being back at uni and almost passing out when I was doing a presentation.
Oh my gosh, yeah, no, I know that feeling oh too well, but no, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be a great conversation. I'm really looking forward to getting into it. So before we actually jump into things, that's me getting away with myself. Tell the guys a little bit about yourself, what it is you do. I've obviously done a pre-introduction and told them a bit about you, but in your own words, just, introduce yourself to the guys for the benefit of those that don't know who you are and maybe missed my intro a few minutes ago.
So I'm Ruth from Money Savvy Mum UK. Like you said, we paid off, well, I say you said me, it was we, my husband and I. There's no way I would have done that by myself. We found ourselves, you know, deep in debt all of our adult lives, and we just felt trapped. We didn't have a clue what to do. Nobody spoke about debt. It wasn't the thing to talk about, and even now I think people don't like to talk about it. So I'm here to shout about debt. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. You know, I think 90% of people have some kind of debt. So yeah, that's why I started up my page, really. And it's been phenomenal. You know, so many people have been so honest with me and, you know, messaged and asked for help and, you know, asking for advice. How did we become debt free? And yeah, it's taken off.
No, amazing. Yeah, no, so I literally followed you from when you first joined Instagram and just seeing your growth over the past year. Absolutely amazing. But it's a testament to you and how amazing you are on your page and how transparent you are and relatable you are as well. Because it's like, we don't know you, but it feels like we know you through your captions and through your honest vulnerability. It's amazing.
I feel like we're friends. You've actually put me at ease. I nearly puked up tonight, you know, the thought of coming on here, but you know, it's great. It's good.
Nah, it's amazing. No, thank you. So what I like to do before we dive into the meat of the conversation is kind of settle our nerves, calm our nerves a bit by kind of doing a little icebreaker type game. So it's a this or that game. So I'll give you 2 options and then you pick, would you do A or would you do B? So all of you guys join in at the moment. You can join in at home as well. So all you need to do is basically for question 1, do A or B, or just pick which option that you would take. So I'm just going to give you a few questions and then tell me, would you rather A or would you rather B? Okay, so the first would you rather is, would you rather walk away with £1,000, or flip a coin and see if you can win £5,000. So I'm going to give you either £1,000 or flip this coin and you can have £5,000.
I would take the £1,000.
Really?
There's no way I'd risk £1,000. And
Yeah.
knowing my luck, the coin wouldn't flip the way I needed it to flip. So
Yeah,
I'd
so
take the £1,000 and I'd run.
Yeah, no, I heard that. It reminds me of Deal or No Deal, actually. Yeah, I remember you watching that show and be like, just take the money, take the offer. And open the box and it's zero. It's like, oh, you should have just taken the money. So yeah, no, we've got a lot of number ones and A's with us. A lot of people are agreeing, take that 1,000 because that's guaranteed money. That 5,000 is gamble.
Grow that money, can't you? Invest it and grow it.
There you go. Exactly. I'd rather have, like you said, 1,000 rather than zero. So absolutely. Okay, no, that's a good one. Okay, next one, still on the £1,000. So would you rather have £1,000 a day for the rest of your life or £1 million today?
Oh, that's hard.
That's a bit of a hard one to think about, isn't it? I've paid my time. Sorry?
Guaranteed £1,000.
Yeah, guaranteed.
I'd do that for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The £1,000 a day. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'd be tempted to take the million, but I think I'll probably take the million. Let me know. I think.
No, £1,000 guaranteed. You'd never have to worry about money again. £1,000 every day.
No, that is true. No, that is true. And that million, you could actually spend it, but I wouldn't spend it. I'd invest it wisely.
We're sensible now, Tolu. We wouldn't spend it.
Exactly. No, it's true. Okay, cool. Next one. Would you rather live the rest of your life financially comfortable? So the rest of your life financially comfortable, you can pay your bills, make ends meet, but or alternatively, live 20 years like a millionaire, but then be poor afterwards.
A.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely A.
Yeah.
Why you even asked that question? Didn't say.
That was the easy one, wasn't it? Yeah, no, say definitely A. Yeah, no. No, that second half of the life would not be fun.
No, it wouldn't. And you'd always be dreading that part coming, wouldn't you?
Yeah, the countdown, that's true. As the years get closer, like, oh, only a year left or something. Yeah, no, we don't want that. Okay, cool. Next one. Would you rather have to move cities every single year and never return? So like each year you're in a different city, or be able to leave the city. Oh, sorry. Or would you rather never return? Oh gosh, I've mixed that totally up. Let's start that again. Would you rather have to move to a different city every year and never return, or would you rather never be able to leave the city you were born in? So stay in your home city for the rest of your life, or move from city to city, year to year.
This would cause my divorce, I think, because I'm a homebody and I would want to stay. I could do without holidays. I wouldn't care, but Thomas would want to go. So I'd have to find a new husband. I'd pick A. Okay,
A. Yeah, and I think that would be me too. I can't imagine having to start again every single time.
No.
No.
And I don't like change either.
Yeah, exactly. No, not like that anyway. Not permanent change like that. No. Okay, cool. I'll do one more actually. I've got a couple more, but I'm just conscious of time because I really want us to get into this. So, okay, would you rather find? Actually, I don't want that one. Oh, yeah, this one. Actually, no, I know what you're going to say for that one, so I'm going to do this one because that one was again another easy one. Okay, would you rather find £50 every day and have to spend it on that same day, or find £25 every day but be allowed to save it?
I don't know. Would I still be earning? I'd still have my.
Yeah.
I'd spend it every day on what I wanted to think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
An extra £50 a day. Yeah, I'll take that. Thanks.
Yeah. Where do you get these questions from?
Some of them off the internet. Some of them I make them up. Like, yeah, because I've run out of the ones online, so now it's like I have to start thinking creatively of different this or that question. So you guys have any suggestions?
Imagination.
What's that?
You've got an amazing imagination.
Thank you. Okay, cool. So talking about the topic that we have to be discussing this evening, we're talking obviously all about debt. And I guess just to begin with, it would be good to kind of have a talk about your story or your background, your childhood experiences, or just growing up financially. What was your kind of first experience with debt, and how was money growing up for you? I guess that would be a good place to start.
we never had money growing up. I always remember not being able to do what my friends did. There were trainers I wanted I couldn't have. We didn't really go to fun places. We just never had any money. And I knew then that I didn't want that when I grew up. But, I just remember always being anxious and wondering, how are we going to pay the bills? Even at a young age, I was always stressed about money, and I vowed never to be like that. And then that's exactly what I became. I don't know why. I wanted to get away from that, but that's exactly what I became. I don't know. I think my mum never spoke to me about money. Like there was never any education there. And it just carried on. If you're not taught about money, you don't learn it at school. If your family don't teach you how to look after money, how to deal with money, you grow up not knowing. So, the pattern continues, really. And I'm so grateful that we've actually been able to break that. And I'm hoping my children are a bit more sensible than I was with money. So I left home at 18. I met my husband, left home, moved in with him into his flat. And we were okay. We didn't get into huge amounts of debt. I went to uni. That's when I first took out my first credit card. But I wasn't stupid. I bought books. I worked throughout, but I still, the money was there. I took it. I bought books, and I went out, but it wasn't huge amounts of debt. The problem started when we moved into our house. We bought our first house, so every penny we had went on the deposit, 10%. We moved in, and the very next day the boiler broke, and we had no money, not a penny to pay for a new boiler. So it had to go on a credit card. And that's it. Just spiraled from there. We wanted new furniture. We put it on a credit card because we had no money. And the thing is, we didn't need new furniture. We had furniture. We bought it with us, but we wanted new furniture.
For a new house.
We wanted everything to be new and a nice new start. And you don't think about paying it back. It's so easy to take out a loan or an extra credit card. And you don't think about paying it back. You just think, I want that. I'm going to get it. And, that's how easy it was. We walked into Laura Ashley, as you do, and we spent £1,000 on curtains, a cabinet that's over here that I've still got, and I will never get rid of.
At least you still got it, yeah.
It's paid for now. So that was it. What else? One of our big issues was income. Thomas was in and out of work. He was a steel fixer back then. So in construction, in and out of work all the time. And it was impossible to know how much money we had coming in from one week to the next. I was a physiotherapist, but my job was all the way in Ashford. I lived in London, hated being away from the kids. And I just quit. Just quit my job just like that. And obviously that didn't help.
Was that before or after you bought the house?
That was after. That was after we moved in. So we had a mortgage, and I don't know, because Thomas was in and out of work all the time. I just thought he'd get another job and it will be fine. And childcare for 2 children was going to wipe out my wages anyway. I'd come home with nothing. So I just thought I want to be with the kids. I had children to be with them, and that's what I was going to do. And yeah, it didn't work out. Our debt just spiraled. We were using credit cards to pay for bills, to pay for food shopping. And it was just a constant worry. Couldn't sleep. I wasn't eating. Thomas wasn't eating. We were arguing. It was a nightmare. And we didn't know what to do. And the thing I remember most, the most upsetting thing, was I was in the garage trying to pay for petrol, and I could only afford a £5. I could only put a £5 in because that's all I had in my bank, or so I thought. I could pay, and my card was declined.
Oh my gosh.
I got out of there. I left all my details, got out, got in the car, drove around the corner and just sobbed my heart out. I just thought, what on earth are we going to do? How can we go on like this? And that was kind of the thing that pushed us to it was make or break. We either carried on. No, we either moved out of this house, split up, because it was going to split us up. We were just arguing all the time, or we did something about it. And we did something about it.
Right. Oh my gosh. Okay, so just going back a little bit, back to the beginning of your story, because yeah, you've covered so much, to be honest, which is amazing. So thank you. Thanks for your openness. No, it's good, because yeah, it's good. You're really getting into the story, because yeah, it's good that you're sharing, because it's relatable, and a lot of people listening in now can probably relate to a lot of what you're saying, a lot of your story. And your story sounds so similar to mine, in that it was after buying the first property that you ended up getting into debt, because that was literally the same thing that happened to us. It was when we bought the first house. We had the money for everything, paid for the house, but then the house needed work to be done, and we didn't budget for that. So that's exactly how it started for us, and then it kind of just spiraled out of control. So totally can relate to everything that you're saying there. But I guess I just wanted to go back a little bit to a bit about your story before obviously you got into all of this debt. So would you say from growing up with your parents and stuff like that, they didn't teach you about money, which is, yeah, that's the story for many of us as well. That was my experience too. Like, I wouldn't say I really had that education. So then at what point did you start to understand money, like learn about money? Was it
it was suddenly when we decided, that make or break situation, we decided to get out of debt. I just started Googling, ways to get out of debt. How can I I can't even remember what I was Googling, but it was, I just needed to know how to get out of debt, and I didn't have anybody to ask, because you don't speak to people about it. So I was online Googling, and Dave Ramsey came up. So you've heard of Dave Ramsey?
Of course, yes.
Ramsey, I think.
Yes.
So I thought,
I'm a Dave Ramsey student.
Are you? Oh, okay. So I thought, I like that. There's, simple steps to follow. I like structure. So I thought, I can do that. We can do that. So I started Googling Dave Ramsey, and I was looking in Facebook for groups that I could join. And I found some brilliant groups in Facebook, Dave Ramsey UK-based groups. And that's where I learned so much. There were women in similar situations that had started the journey a bit before me, so were further along, and they were able to give such valuable advice. And yeah, it just went from there. I just kept researching, and we started off by saving £1,000. That's what he tells you to do. Save £1,000 for an emergency fund before you even go anywhere near your debt. So that's what we did. And to do that, £1,000, we were like, how on earth are we going to find £1,000? That's just phenomenal money. Back then, I just thought, wow, who even has £1,000? But it was actually quite easy. We sold so much stuff from around the house that we never used. Like, we had a coffee maker, never used it, sold it. Old clothes, sold them. And we did take money from the kids' savings. We took £500 from there, have paid it back. And I posted in the group, I was like, would any of you do this? Because I just wanted to get going on the journey, as quick as we could. And people were like, not really. No, it's their money, And I thought about it. But then I thought, no, I will take it. We will pay it back. But, it will help us move along the journey quicker.
Yeah.
What use are we to them if we can't provide for them financially anyway? So we did that, and I've no regrets. So we saved up that £1,000, and then we tackled the debt. And to do that, I did a budget. I'd never had a budget before. Didn't know people had budgets. And it was an eye-opener. We listed all the money we had coming in, which wasn't actually that much, and everything going out. And we saw that most of our money was going towards debt repayments, like £800 a month, £900 a month, something ridiculous like that. So no wonder we had no money to buy things or do fun things. It was just all going to the debt. So we decided that we needed to make extra money, because we didn't have enough to live off, really. And that's where the side hustles came in. We sold more stuff. I took on match betting. That was just phenomenal for me. I did surveys, and we run our own dog walking business now. So we took on, more work that way, and we were able to throw a lot of extra money to the debt. And it started to go down quite quickly. Once we knew what our figures were, we were able to put the money where it needed to be, really, instead of frittering away what tiny amounts we had.
Yeah, no, Oh, sorry, go on.
No, and yeah, it just snowballed really. It was, and we used to sit in the evening and look at each other and think, well, why did we not do this years ago? You know, and even now, that's the thing that gets to me. I think we could have been in a much better situation now if we started years ago. But I'm trying not to think like that.
Exactly. You can't even think like that, because
you
at least
back,
you're here now. You can't go back, exactly, but you can change the future, which is what you've done, because you could have equally not done that, and you could be in exactly the same position you were in how many years ago. How many years has it been since you paid it all off?
We paid it off in November 2018. So we started paying it all back in March 2018, and it was on by November. But
Can we get some love hearts for Ruth, please? That's incredible.
It's so hard to believe, even myself, but we worked our socks off 7 days a week, and I was working in the evenings doing my match betting, my surveys, you know, listing stuff on eBay and Facebook. I've got a picture of Thomas in pants with, you know, the waistband just held on by a string, because I refused to buy new pants, new clothes, nothing. We bought nothing. We were really obsessed.
Live like no one else. That's what Dave Ramsey said today. Live like no one else, so that later you can live like no one else. And it's so true.
We were gazelle intense for those 8 months, but I don't think we could have done it for longer than that. I don't even think it was that healthy. I think we probably should have done it over a longer period of time.
Yeah.
But that day when we made the last payment towards our debt was just, I'll never forget it. It was unbelievable.
What did you do to celebrate?
We went and bought a Starbucks.
Oh!
But it was
Starbucks!
It was the best tasting Starbucks. It was so good.
I take it you hadn't gone Starbucks for those 8 months. Were you that gazelle intense?
We were. We hardly spent a penny, really.
Wow.
I had all my charts. I was ticking off all the boxes. You know, every penny we got, I was so excited to just throw it to the debt. Like I was like, I can't even explain it. I was just obsessed. And
I can imagine. It's the satisfaction of seeing it going down. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm making progress. I'm making progress. And you just stay focused, going. Now, you said so many amazing things just now. So one thing that you said which I really took from what you were saying, and I hope people listening in really tuned into that point, it's just the fact that you didn't know your numbers initially, which is how you thought that you couldn't afford to pay this debt off. But in actual fact, the money was there. You just weren't necessarily allocating it in the right way. But creating that budget, all of a sudden, you can see actually the income isn't the problem. It's like what I'm doing with this income, that's the problem. So really focusing on the numbers and having that plan. So you created a plan and you worked that plan and you stuck to that plan, irrespective of feelings. You just did it, and that's how you were able to do it, which is incredible.
Yeah, and then you can, you know, if you want something, you can put it into
budget for it.
Yeah, and then you don't feel guilty if you buy it because you've budgeted. It's, you know, it's not going on a credit card like it used to.
That's it. Just wait a little bit, save up a little bit, and then pay for it so you can plan for these expenses. Because I mean, that's why I talk about that a lot as well. Like a lot of things that we make emergencies don't have to be if we just plan for them and just plan in advance. So like Christmas is a great example of that, where Christmas comes the same time every single year, but we end up spending so much at Christmas and then we're paying it back later on.
January is just awful, isn't it? You know, you can't pay your bills in January.
Exactly.
So many years we were so stressed every January because, you know, we'd bought so much rubbish over Christmas that we couldn't afford, and no one even wanted it, you know. Such a waste.
No, 100%. But no, that's absolutely incredible what you guys were able to do. So in terms of wanting to start the debt-free journey, when you had that decision or had that mindset shift and that incident happened with the going to buy the petrol and you went round the corner, you're upset, you're like, okay, now I need to do something about this. And you had that conversation with your husband. Was he straight away on board, or was it it took a while to get him round to it? How was that conversation?
So we sat down, we added up all of our debt, and I honestly thought it was around 9 or 10 grand. I did not have a clue it was 21 grand, and I was gobsmacked, and Thomas was gobsmacked, and you know, I thought he was going to cry. I think he did cry actually, but once I thought about it, I thought well, this is brilliant, because, you know, this is where all our money's going. This is why we've got no money. It's all going on debt. And from that point on, I was just so, I was like motivated, just really motivated. Thomas was a bit down for a while. I think he just thought, what on earth have we done? How are we going to get out of this? But I was super motivated. It just really spurred me on. And he's been good. He's kind of let me take over, which is good for me, but I would like him to be more involved. I think, you know, he should know a bit more about things, but he's not really interested. He just wants me to sort it out, and it's fine. I'm fine. A control freak as well, so I'm fine doing that. But you know, anytime I said, "Oh, shall we, you know, try and sell this and put that money towards the debt?" He was like, "All right then, but are we going to have anything left?"
Exactly, just the kids left.
Yeah, just the kids, and I even thought about selling them.
Selling one of them. I've got two. I only need one.
So yeah, he's on board, and I don't know how it would have worked if he wasn't on board. I think it would be really tough. I really do. And you know, that's a big problem for some people, and I
100%
feel for them.
No, yeah, I'm just looking at the comments. So, Shalina, gosh, I hope I said your name correctly, was asking what match betting is.
Oh, I've got a blog post. If you have a read of that, that's so much better than me explaining it. But basically, it's where you take advantage of the free bets offered by bookies. It's not gambling. People think it's gambling. It's not gambling. You place a back bet and a lay bet, so your money's not at risk. And then you get your free bet from the bookies, and that's how you make your money, through the free bets. I'm not very good at explaining it, and it takes a while to get your head around, but it's such an amazing earner. I think, you know, it would have taken a lot longer if I hadn't been doing match betting, because it brought in a lot of extra income. But if you go onto my blog or just Google match betting, there's so many websites that have amazing information. There's Odds Monkey, Profit Accumulator is another one, Team Profit. They've got so many guides. Just sit and watch the guides and see if it's for you.
Yeah, now I've seen so many posts about match betting and loads of people talking about it. And I've always thought it was gambling, but they always say it's not. I'm like, how can it not be gambling? But apparently it's not.
So long, because I thought it was a scam. You know, I put it off for so long.
Yeah, so
it's not a scam. It's a really good way to make money. It's tax free as well. All of your profits are tax free. But it's not for some people. Like if you've got any kind of addiction or, you know, gambling, not worth it.
Don't do it.
No. But I didn't have a gambling problem, so it was fine.
Yeah. And do you still do it now, or is that another side of
it? I do try and dip in and out, but I don't get much time at the minute. I'm working on the blog. You know, we've got this nonsense pandemic thing that's driving me insane, and we've got our business. Life is busy at the minute.
Life is busy, yeah. Just seeing, hold on. We were Arbolife Mortgage Free's journey says we were exactly the same, obsessed. Yeah, being debt free is the best feeling and worth the sacrifices. That's it. No, definitely, I would agree or co-sign exactly what she just said. That it is worth the sacrifices. Short term pain for a long term gain.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, being able to sleep at night is just the best. Not worrying about if you're going to lose your house, because we nearly lost our house twice. Like,
oh my gosh, same.
Yeah. Oh really? We had to put it on the market twice because Thomas lost his
job. Wow.
But then he got another job and we were like, take it down quick, because it was awful, really bad.
No, but it's amazing.
That worry now is phenomenal.
Yeah. No, it's amazing that you was able to do it in such a short space of time. Like, so amazing. That's why there's so many people on the live, because they're like, what? 21,000 in 8 months.
That's why I look like this. I think it's taken 10 years off my life, but
not at all, man. Not at all. G5, sir. I'm so bad at reading names. Sorry, forgive me. Got in a few weeks back after seeing your Instagram. Thank you. Oh, look.
That's the match betting.
That's the match betting. Yeah. Okay. More questions. Okay, so we've spoken about your debt story and how much debt you were in, and how you guys were able to get out of debt. Would you say, was there any actually, you said that you touched on what the worst moment was. I guess other than the actual the deciding that, okay, now I'm going to face this debt head on. When you were paying off the debt, what would you say was the most challenging part of the debt-free journey? Like what? Yeah, in those 8 months, what would you say was the most
I
challenging?
think we were quite strict with our spending, and it's the mum guilt, really. You know, the kids were really good. They never asked for anything, but you know, their friends were buying stuff, doing stuff, and we weren't doing much apart from going to the park. And I felt really guilty, and I never wondered if I was doing the right thing, but the guilt was there. But now we're debt free. I still think, should I be doing this? Should I be going there and doing this? Not so much now because we can't go anywhere, but you know, it's the other way now. I'm wanting to hoard as much money as I can so that I never go back to where we came from. And we never would. I would not let that happen. I just wouldn't. I don't ever want to go back there. But it's the other way now. I need to learn to lighten up a bit.
I know what you mean.
I'm so extreme. I'm all or nothing. I wish I could change that a little bit.
Live a little bit. You deserve it now. Give yourself a little bit of a break.
I know. I need to work on that.
Yeah, no, 100%, definitely. It's important. Reward yourself on the journey because, yeah, what you've done is amazing. I know you're on the paying off the mortgage journey as well, but definitely factor fun and enjoyment into it for yourself and the family, definitely. Yeah. What other side hustles are profitable? Yeah, the events has asked.
Well, the 2 I did were surveys and match betting. Yeah, selling things as well.
Selling was really good for me.
So I know a lot of people go to charity shops and buy things and then sell them online.
Reselling, yeah,
that's a big thing at the minute, isn't it?
That's a really big one, yeah.
Airbnb, you can rent out a room.
Rent a room in your house.
Yeah.
Or yeah, we weren't able to get anybody to live with us, but if it works for you, you can try it, definitely.
Our house is so tiny, nobody would want to live here. But yeah, if you've got a spare room, it's ideal. Rent out your drive. Lots of people do that.
Yes, depending on what you do. Yeah. No, definitely. Blogging as well is a good one. It's a long-term game, but it's definitely has a lot of earning potential later on. Yeah, just the options.
Your ebook, phenomenal.
Oh yes,
done so well. So
products are definitely good. What was that?
You've done so much in such a short space of time. You know,
I don't sit still. I know. Busybody, but digital products are definitely fantastic. If you've got a skill or experience in anything, like somebody will want to pay for that experience that you have. Because I think a lot of times, a lot of us don't believe in what we have, and you don't realize what you have is an asset to somebody else because you think, oh, I know this is just whatever because you've always done it. Whereas somebody else is watching that and they're like, oh, how do you do this? How do you do that? And you're just doing it second nature. That's something you could turn into a product for somebody else to buy.
And then, you know, with digital products, once you've made that, once you've designed it and put it up for sale, you know, you don't have to do anything else with that, and it will just sell and sell and sell, and
exactly
passive income, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, looking at ways to generate passive income, I think is definitely good. And that's something that I'm glad that I discovered on this debt-free journey as well, was the fact that it's not just about reducing your expenses, it's also looking at ways to increase your income, because that's how you accelerate the debt repayment. Because like you said, if you didn't do the match betting and you weren't reselling all of your stuff, and you wouldn't have got to that debt-free goal within 8 months. So there's only so much you can exactly. There's only so much you can reduce your expenses, but there's not a limit to the amount you can increase your income by. So I think it's just a case of just really writing down your strengths, writing down the things that you know, your areas of expertise, and just start thinking creatively, okay, how can I turn this into a money-making opportunity kind of thing? Yeah. And yeah, you'd be surprised at how the creative juices start flowing when you start thinking, okay, what can I do with what's in my hand, is what I would say.
100%.
Okay, what else? So I'm just going back to the comment. I'm always going back to them too late, and it's like, no, totally, you've missed the moment. Easy, like Better You in 2 said it's definitely needed. I'm not sure. I think he means this, what that was related to the side hustle. The neighborhood finance guy says I need digital products 100%. Miss Hawkins House said that's totally me. That's totally me. I think it's just a little thing I can do. Exactly, yeah. But who'd pay me? Limiting beliefs, I suppose. Oh, listen, that was me for That's me. It's an ongoing thing, training myself to be like, no, Tolly, you have value to bring to the table. So I remember with my budget tracker for the first year, I was just giving it away for free. Then last year, I launched the paid version. It was an upgraded version, but before I wouldn't have even wanted to sell that because it's like, why is someone going to pay me for something I made? Like, they can make it themselves. But yeah, don't think like that, guys, because yeah,
it's so hard because I made some digital products as well.
Yeah.
And when I pressed publish, I thought, shall I take it off again? I did not feel confident, but then people started buying them, and it does boost your confidence a lot.
Yeah.
You know? And I've had brilliant feedback as well, which is much needed for me because I'm so lacking in confidence. So it's lovely to get that kind of feedback.
Exactly. No, it's amazing. No, your trackers are really good. The Savings Challenge tracker, I still need to buy my copy. No, definitely. It's really, really good.
And I'm still going. I think I've got just over £400 now. And
wow.
I need things like that to keep me going. I love visuals. You know, it just really motivates me.
No, 100%. No, it's really, really good. Check them out in Ruth's bio if you haven't checked them out already. Yeah, she's got those are cool digital products. So yeah, no, guys, check that out definitely. Okay, couple more questions. How are we doing for time? Okay, we're doing all right for time. We're doing all right for time because I talk quite a lot as well. So it's like to make sure we don't go over because last week we went over by way too much and don't want to do that tonight. So we're going to stick to our timing. So if you guys have any questions, definitely leave them in the question box below, and yeah, we'll answer them as they come through. Okay, so moving on, what's my next question? I've got a few down here, but I don't want to answer them all because we'll run out of time. Okay. Oh, this is a good question. I would like to get your view on it. So the question of there's no such thing as good debt. What do you think of the statement?
I hate all debt. Personally, I hate it all. I hate my mortgage. I want it gone. But I do think there is a difference, you know, between certain kinds of debt. Credit card debt, definitely bad debt. I don't think it serves any purpose, any good purpose, to be honest. But mortgages, how else are you going to be able to buy a house without taking on a mortgage? It's for 99.9% of people, it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
You know, it's a good debt, and I think of it as if it's going to increase your net worth or improve your financial situation years down the line, then it's a good thing. You know, if I didn't have this mortgage debt, I'd be paying, you know, more on rent. You know? So I'm trying to think of my mortgage as a bill, not as a debt, and that's helping me a bit mentally. I still want it gone, and I'm still gonna, you know, throw as much as I can at it to get rid of it. But yeah, I think you can say that there's good debts and bad debts. But if you go and buy a car and finance, which I did, you know, I think most people do.
I've done it too, yeah.
That car is just going to go down in value, isn't it? And, you know, you paid full price, and 3-4 years down the line, it's going to be worth half what you bought it for. So I'd consider that a bad debt. And I'm going to try never to do that again. I'm going to save up and buy my next car when this one collapses.
Drive it to the wheels fall off.
Yeah, exactly. We did that with the work van before. They literally did fall off.
Oh my gosh.
One of them. Holidays, I think we put 2 holidays on a credit card. Really not a great idea.
Me too.
You know? 2 weeks later, your holiday's gone and you've got thousands to pay back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a difference, isn't there? Do you think?
Yeah, no, there's definitely a difference. I think it's the actual phrasing it good debt. That's the reason why it's challenging for me, because I don't know, good to me is a positive thing in it, but debt in itself is a positive. So it's like the two together, it just seems like a bit of oxymoron. But I get the principle, the premise that yes, it is good debt because it's used for good. So like getting a loan for your degree or whatever, getting student loan asset, that would be classified, I guess, as good debt because it's going to add value to you later on in life. Hopefully, if you can use that degree to earn more money. Yeah, that's the idea anyway. So then, yeah, it is good. But I think, like, for example, with my personal situation, when we took out the refurbishment loans, that was good debt. Also, we thought because it was like, oh yeah, we're using it to add value to the property, do up the property, so then it will go up in value. Then we can take money out of the property, etc. We had all these plans anyway, and then that good debt and that good plan that we had kind of turned bad because it didn't go according to plan. So I think when it comes to debt, I think just approach it with a bit of caution in that yes, it is going to be used for good, but it's still debt at the end of the day. So yeah, don't get too comfortable in it.
This is a thing in our house at the minute. My son, who is taller than any of us in here, He's got the smallest bedroom, and soon his legs will be poking out of the walls.
Out of the walls.
So, you know, he wants a loft extension. Thomas, my husband, wants to get a loft extension, and I just can't stomach the thought of taking on 45 grand's worth of debt. So I don't know what we're going to do. Yeah, we've saved up enough to almost be able to pay for it. But that money's there for our future, you know.
Yeah.
We started investing really late in life. So, you know, we had no pensions, nothing. So that money is going to pay for us, you know, to live when we're older.
Yeah, later on. Well, that's a tricky one.
So maybe I should take that £1 million that you mentioned in the first.
Yeah. No, but you'd be surprised. These side hustles that you're working on now will bring so much more extra income, and then before you know it, you'll have his loft conversion.
He'll have moved out by then, I think.
Yeah, he's quite a big boy now, isn't he? Yeah,
he's so tall. It's ridiculous.
Bless him. Okay, next question. In terms of the pandemic, obviously we spoke about it earlier, but just interested to know how it's impacted you financially over the last year or so, COVID.
Yeah, it has. Our income has dropped to about 50%. Well, yeah, 50% initially. Now we're earning about 60% of what we were pre-COVID. It's a big drop. We're able to cover all of our bills and our sinking funds, and we still are able to invest a little bit. But I get so annoyed because I know if this hadn't happened, if COVID hadn't happened, we'd be so much wrong. But yeah, big drop in income. It's gutting. But, you know, there's people so much worse off. So we're very lucky, really. I can't complain.
No, it's absolutely true. Because you think if this had happened, the pandemic had happened a few years ago, back in 2017, it would have been a totally different story.
House, we would have lost our house for sure. The timing is actually quite good. We'd paid off all of our debt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't complain. But you know, I do worry because, you know, how much longer is it going to go on for? You know, we just don't know, do we? I'm so sick of it. All those people that died, and it's just...
June 21st, you're not hopeful for it then?
I don't know. I really don't know. As long as they can keep the schools open, I'll be happy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you think so? I just...
Nah, I don't want to get my hopes up. Just that, because my birthday is literally like a couple of weeks after the 21st. I'm like, oh yes, I'm gonna have a big party because it's a milestone birthday. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have... But then I'm like, actually, no, I'm not gonna start planning any big party because things can definitely change overnight. So yeah.
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope it's all going to go back to normal quite soon.
I don't know. Okay, back to the comment. Sorry. So we had Lisa Louise said she loves the 1K challenge. It's so good to see.
Oh, thank you. It's good. I like it too.
Our Black Home said, I'm so scared of being poor again. How do we introduce spending again? I became debt free in January and struggling to spend.
How do we introduce
spending again? So like getting back into spending.
I struggle with that too. I think having a budget helps because you know how much you've got to spend. I'm not the best person to ask. I struggle with that so much. I'm terrified of being back in debt. And I don't spend. I buy what we need, you know. I spend on the kids clubs. That's mainly it. But Thomas and I don't really want anything. I found that once we stopped buying things, the things I thought I wanted, I didn't actually want, and you know, we didn't need them, and I don't miss them. So maybe that's why I'm not spending.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say that you don't need to force yourself to spend some money if you don't want to. Then
thing, not spending it's good.
Yeah.
And if you want to spend on something, if you really want something, you budget for it, and then you know, it's fine. Don't feel guilty about it.
Yeah, no, I definitely didn't have that problem spending again once I had money. I don't think I could ever spend it. I'm a spender at heart, so once I have a budget, I'll spend that whole budget down to the last penny very quickly. My husband, on the other hand, he's good at not spending money, but yeah, no, I didn't have a problem getting spending.
Thomas is a spender. He likes spending things, and I think I have to lighten up a bit. I like to take control, and I like to tell him what he can and can't buy, but I have to stop doing that. He's a grown man, and, you know, if he wants to buy something, he should be able to buy it within reason.
Yeah, exactly. No, definitely. Within a budget, if it's budgeted for, let him spend till his heart's content, 100%. Okay, so how do you have a good quality of life whilst living within your means? Kat called Slowly has asked.
I don't think everything fun costs money, you know. We do have fun together as a family. We play board games, we watch movies, we have snacks at home. You know, I just don't think you have to spend money to have fun. And our quality of life is better now, because if you, for example, Olivia is really into drumming, she loves drumming, and we can afford to pay for lessons for her at school now, whereas before we could never do that. So I think we're all happier. We don't have an issue with our quality of life, to be honest. And
yeah,
since we started budgeting, like I said before, I don't miss what I used to spend my money on. So I don't I don't think I'm missing out on anything, because I bought that. I bought all of those things that I bought just through pure emotional spending. Didn't want them, didn't need them. I just went out and spent money just through sheer stress, you know. So I'm a lot happier now. I think the kids are happier. Thomas is happier, for sure.
No, 100%. I literally would echo exactly what you said. I think that's the misconception that a lot of times we have, is that, oh, people that are frugal or people that are budgeting, they don't live a good life. Like, they live in this pauper's life, and they don't enjoy it, they don't have fun, and they don't spend money. And it's like, no, actually, we do enjoy our lives, and we do have fun, and we do spend money, but it's just that it's budgeted for, and we just find other ways to enjoy life without spending so much money as well. Like you said, going to the park, just appreciating the little things in life. I think that's what this journey definitely gave me more of an appreciation for, because before I wouldn't say I was materialistic, but I did have a lot of stuff. I just used to buy stuff. I was a big consumer, and I just buy these things, wear it once, and then it's like, oh, okay, I don't like it anymore, I'm over it, I need to buy something else. And I'll just keep on buying clothes, keep buying all these things, just, I don't even know, to make myself feel good. But it's like, these items,
it did feel good, you know, when you were buying, but and the guilt is phenomenal, and you look and you think, why did I do that?
And I don't like it very quickly after I've bought the item. So it's like, once I've bought it once, it's like, I'm over it. I'm like, okay, I need to buy something else. I'm going out, I need a new outfit. But you bought a new outfit the last time, and the time before that, and the time before that, and it's like, yeah, I'm so happy that I was able to break that cycle, and it's like not something I missed. I'm like quite content on less. Yeah, I'm content with less, and it makes life so much easier, to be honest. So yeah, I think not having those money arguments and not having those money troubles has definitely made life better for us. I would say it's like a lot calmer.
There's nothing nice about having money problems. Nothing nice at all about it.
Not at all. Like, like what we was talking about earlier, going on these holidays, enjoying ourselves, living our best lives for 2 weeks, and then those 2 weeks were amazing. We enjoyed, we spent, but then coming back home, that's when life has to...
I couldn't even fully enjoy them, because I was so worried about the money. And you know, Thomas was he was a contractor, a subcontractor. So, you know, chances are when he came back, he wouldn't have a job anyway, because, you know, it was awful. That kind of work was awful. If you take time off, you get laid off. That's how it was. And, you know, we borrowed money to go on holiday, for me to sit there for 2 weeks worrying about whether he'd have a job when we got back. And we went with having no savings, so didn't have a clue how we were going to pay the mortgage when we came back. It's such a bad way to live. I don't know how we did it for so long.
No, but yeah, thank God you finally saw the light, and I guess you sorted it all out, and in such a stronger financial position now. And what's amazing is that not only are you now out of it, you've helped so many other people get out of it and start on their own financial journeys too, which is incredible, to be honest, because not everyone does that, you know, sees the light and learns the way and comes back to share it with other people. They just kind of move on with their life. So it's amazing that you now dedicated yourself to doing that.
I just wanted to tell everyone, as soon as I got off, I just wanted to tell everyone, you know, it doesn't have to be like that. You can pay it off, because I went a long time thinking that we were like that forever. I didn't think we would ever be able to pay it off. Didn't even occur to me we could. And then when we did,
it was an option,
I just wanted everybody to know, you know, you don't have to live like that.
Amazing. No, and it's so true. You don't. So anyone that's
No,
listening on this live, I hope obviously that they've taken that from your story, the fact that you were able to do it, and they can definitely do it too. Like the main thing is just making those sacrifices, making those lifestyle changes, and committing to the journey ahead, because it's not going to be an overnight thing. But if you
no,
stay committed to it, focus on those numbers, you can definitely get there. It's definitely achievable. So don't believe the myth that you're going to be in debt forever. You don't have to be if you choose
no,
not to be.
exactly,
So no,
exactly.
that's amazing. Thank you. Okay, so a couple more questions before I let you go, because I'm conscious of the time and I want us to stick to our time. Okay, actually, in fact, one more question, because I see there's a couple on here as well, so I don't want to ignore people's questions. So, advice that you would give to anybody that's listening in on this live now, that's currently in debt and they're thinking, oh, my debt is too much, or I don't even want to know how much it is because, yeah, it's a lot. What advice would you give to that person?
I would say face it. The sooner you it has to be paid at the end of the day. It's not going to go away. So you just have to be brave and face it. And it's horrific. It's the scariest thing to do, but you need to add it up, you know, figure out who you owe, how much you owe, and make a plan. You know, don't just keep ignoring it because it doesn't go away.
Yeah.
You know, write everything down. Write down how much you owe. Write down how much you've got coming in, how much you've got going out, and once you've got your figures, you can formulate a plan. You know, do you need to earn more money? Do you need to bring more money into the house to pay your debts? Do you need to cut back on your spending? You know, you can't just keep burying your head in the sand, because your debt will grow and grow and grow, and it won't go away. So yeah, face it, write it all down and get started. And you know, the debt-free community is amazing. I've been spurred on so much. I was so worried about not being able to save up. I thought, you know, the debt thing for me was quite easy. Once I got into it, it was easy to pay. It was, you know, I was motivated to do it. And I started my Instagram page because I wanted to be accountable. I wanted to keep going and save money. And I thought that would be hard. And it is harder than paying your debt. I found it much easier to pay off my debt than save, for sure.
100%. I just want to add to that, actually, what you just said there, because I think I did a YouTube video talking about the same thing. Life After Debt, the video is called. I thought that was such a cool name. But yeah, so the video Life After Debt, I was talking about that, because it's one thing when you're paying off the debt, because it's like, I have no choice but to get this debt gone. But when you have that debt gone and now you have the money to kind of do it whatever you want with it, being disciplined to say, no, I'm going to take this money and save it or invest it and do all of that with it. That's a challenge in itself. That's a bigger challenge.
There's so much temptation out there.
Temptations, yeah.
All this money now, I can go and do whatever I want. So yeah, I needed that, and I needed that accountability, and it's worked. You know, I love Instagram. I love the people on it, and you know, I'm just so spurred on by everybody that, you know, messages me. It's amazing. I love it.
No, it's the same. Debt-free community. I'm like, I wish I found it when I was actually on my debt-free journey. I discovered it after paying off the debt, which is a shame, because the support that you get from the community and how transparent and nice people are. People at different stages as well, so they can kind of give you advice on the stage you're at. It's really cool. Everyone's so supportive and encouraging. So yeah, definitely. If you're not part of the debt-free community, join it.
I would say for sure, join a group of some kind, because then you can all keep each other motivated, and you know, you can ask for advice, and if you're not sure about something, someone else will have been through it and you can ask them.
Yes, 100%. And I like that you said that, actually, because again, on my debt-free journey, I didn't do that at all. Like, nobody knew when we were in debt. We didn't talk about it. It was just, from the outside looking in, you would never even know that was the financial position that we were in. It just didn't make any sense. Like, what? You guys are broke. How?
I didn't tell anyone I knew. I was just online talking to strangers. And you know, that's what I needed. I needed people that didn't really know my situation, and I needed to be honest with them. And yeah, I've made some really good friends as well online. Yeah,
100%. So yeah, no, definitely join the debt-free community. So I'm just seeing a couple of comments come up. So perfect Tim, perfect. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you've helped me so much. I agree. Very inspiring. They're all clapping for you. Yep, you've been amazing. What is the Instagram name for this community? So it's literally a hashtag, it's a hashtag on Instagram, so hashtag debt free community, but there's also the UK one, so it's hashtag UK debt free community or hashtag debt free community UK. So either of those hashtags, you'll find like similar accounts to like my account, to Ruth's account, and loads of many other people at different stages of their debt-free journeys. And it's so cool because like in people's bios, they say exactly how much debt that they currently have and where they are on their debt-free journey. And it's amazing. It's literally incredible.
Yeah.
Like if you're looking for inspiration and motivation to stay the course, like those accounts will definitely do that for you.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
So any resources or anything that you would recommend to anybody? So books, podcasts, anything that you'd recommend, resources.
You know, I used to listen to the Dave Ramsey podcast when I was waiting for Olivia to finish her karate class. I'd sit in the car and binge those podcasts. They were amazing. So Dave Ramsey podcast, YouTube. I watch your videos.
No, thanks.
I love Mama Furfur. She's great for investing. Who else? There so many Dave Ramsey groups on Facebook. That was where I started, and that's where I felt really comfortable. Books, there's some brilliant books. I can't remember the names of them. Simple Path to Wealth, I think
that's a good book. That's a really good book.
Well, The Reset.
I heard about that. And Mama Furfur mentioned that book. I haven't watched it, but I haven't read it. Sorry, but she said it's a really good book actually.
It's so good. I can't remember it though. I'm sorry. I'm bad. I can't remember. I'm sorry. I'll put them on my Instagram page as soon as I
Okay, there you go. Ruth's page, she's going to post it for you to tell you the books that she'd recommend. I think Your Money of Your Life, if you guys haven't heard of that. Oh, Ruth, you've frozen.
You've frozen.
Oh gosh, we're both frozen for each other. Can you still hear me though?
I can hear you, yeah.
And I can hear you, so I guess we'll keep talking. There we go, we're back. I was like, I can't see you. Yeah, no, I was saying another amazing book is Your Money or Your Life by an author named Vicky Robin. If anybody hasn't read that book, it's absolutely amazing because it talks all about basically the relationship that we have between money and the fact that a lot of times we value money more than our lives, even though we say we don't. Our lifestyle, our actions, and the way we deal with money and handle money reflects otherwise. So yeah, that book is an eye-opening book. So Your Money or Your Life, if you haven't read it, guys, definitely check it out. They actually need to get me on the payroll because I'm always promoting that book.
I know. Don't you sometimes feel like you're really salesy, but you don't get anything for it?
I'm not getting anything from selling these products, but no, it's a really, really good book. In fact, speaking of books, guys, my ebook is out. It's in my bio. Plug my own book.
It looks amazing. I'm going to buy it.
Yes, please support the movement. Yeah, no, it's in my bio. So it's the book where I talk about basically my journey to debt freedom and what I did to pay off the debt, the 10 steps that I took. So yeah, it's in my bio if you guys want to check that out. It was literally released on Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday this week. So very new ebook, but I'm really pleased with it. I'm proud of it because yeah, it was a labor of love, but I'm glad it's finally done. I'm like, yay, I published my first book, even though it's not a proper book, but it's a book nonetheless. It took me ages to write. So yeah, I hope you guys really like it. Mummy of 4 and Fur Baby says, I love the debt-free community, but I struggled for advice after you pay off debt as it's not at all what you imagine. Yeah, I felt so lost and took months off for me to get my financial situation sorted. Okay. So is that in terms of now, since being debt-free, not knowing what to do financially? Is that what you're saying, Mummy of 4? Can you see the comment, Ruth?
I can't see it. I'm scared to touch my phone in case I do.
In case you lose the screen. Yeah, don't touch anything, please. We don't want you to just get cut out of the live. But I struggled for advice after you pay off debt. Yeah.
She said yes.
Okay. Yeah. That's like I guess that's what we were talking about earlier, isn't it? It's the whole once you become debt free, it's like okay, that's when it gets difficult because it's like okay, now I've got money.
You need to set yourself goals. I mean, like my biggest worry now is what's going to happen to me and Thomas when we get old. You know, we've not really got a lot of money. Like for us, it's a lot of money, but when you think about what you're going to need, you're going to have no income. Well, maybe we will if I carry on with my blog, but you know, you won't be working anymore, working. So you need to have some kind of money to support you. So I think you need to set goals. You need to know what you're saving for, what you want your money for, and not just things like that, but, you know, fun stuff as well. Save up for a holiday, you know. You need to set goals.
Set financial goals.
You just don't know what you're working towards. What's the point in saving if you don't know what you're saving for? You're just
100%.
not really motivated to save.
100%. Yeah, again, that's what I was talking about in that life after debt video, like talking about these are the kind of things that we experience, because it's like when you're paying off the debt, it's like, yes, I'm paying off. But then once your debt, it's like, okay, now what? Now I've got all this extra money, what am I going to do with it? And it's important, like you said, to then move the goalpost. Okay, now I'm going to save up towards my 3 to 6 month emergency fund. Okay, now I'm going to save to do renovations to my house, and just set different financial goals on that financial journey. Otherwise, you will be a bit
wrong. If you've got a mortgage, you know, maybe aim to, you know, pay off 10%
payments,
over the course of the year. Find out how much you need to save each month to reach that 10%, and, you know, put that aside every month. Mortgage overpayments. But it's harder. I do agree. It's much harder to save rather than pay your debt off. You can see the figure going down. You know where you're going to end up. You know where you want to be when you're paying off debt, and it's not always like that when you come out the other end and you're trying to figure out what to do next.
Exactly. No, totally understand. And the last question that we've got before we wrap it up is, do you advise saving when paying off your debts?
So not really, because when I started, I saved that we saved that £1,000 emergency fund, and then we tackled our debts and didn't save anything else until the debts were gone. And the good thing about the emergency fund is something will happen when you're paying off your debts. Something will happen. You know, our car broke down. I think something happened in the house, and we had that emergency fund there to pay for those repairs, and that stopped us borrowing more money, you know, going further into debt. So once we'd used some of that emergency fund, we paused paying the debt and topped back up that emergency fund. So there was always £1,000 there in savings. And then once we were paying the debt off, we didn't save anymore. We just focused on the debt and got rid of that as quickly as we could. And then once that was gone, we started saving for the big emergency fund, your 3 to 6 months emergency fund.
Ditto. Yeah, you literally answered it in the same way I would have. So no, perfect. So then in terms of closing now, so we've come to the end of the live. Thank you guys for all sticking around. You guys have been an amazing audience. Thanks for all your engagement. You've been, fantastic, guys. Thank you. And obviously you've been amazing, Ruth. So any, I guess, closing remarks, any last words that you have, words of wisdom, encouragement, or just anything you want to share basically before we wrap up?
I would say just keep going, ask for help if you're stuck. The worst thing you can do is keep it all to yourself. You know, it will just stress you out. And once you start talking about, you know, your debts, your money problems, you'll realize that you're not alone. There's so many other people in the same, similar situation. You know, you're not alone. And talking about it helps so much. Really, really.
100%. You literally, I mentioned all the stuff that I spoke about actually in my most recent post. So I was talking about, things to do when overwhelmed by debt. And those are the kind of things I was saying about the fact, don't panic. Don't feel like you're the only person, because I think a lot of times when you're in debt, it does feel isolating. It feels like
you feel like it's just you, don't you?
Exactly. Not knowing that you and many of your friends probably are in exactly the same position, but nobody's talking, so nobody knows, so then nobody's helping with the solution, because if we were talking, they could kind of help each other or encourage each other, but when you're just doing it and suffering in silence, then it can be quite overwhelming, and you feel
I don't know if people are silent about it because they're embarrassed, but there is absolutely no need to be embarrassed. Credit card companies throw money at you. It's so easy to get into debt, so just do not be embarrassed. Really,
that's exactly
nothing to be embarrassed about.
No, they love it. They definitely they love it. That's how the world goes round, isn't it? So absolutely amazing. You've been an absolutely amazing guest today, Ruth. So thank you so much. I told you it wouldn't be that bad.
Huh?
I told you it wouldn't be that bad.
Oh, I was literally shaking. I didn't sleep a wink last night. I wanted to throw up and run away, but it's nice. I've liked it. I've really liked it.
Good, isn't it? Yeah, see, no, it was fun. No, it was really good having you on. And look, you've helped so many people on this live. I'm sure people really enjoyed it. See, very good advice. Thank you. I'm new to your Insta stories. Yeah, no, thank you, Mrs. Mooch. Yeah, no, absolutely amazing. You've been a fantastic guest. Thank you so much for your openness, for sharing your story, sharing what you did to pay off debt, and sharing, yeah, your tips and advice. And guys, if you're not yet following Ruth's page, my niece Tabby Mum UK, then definitely go and follow her page. And again, if you don't not follow my page, then yeah, you can go and follow my page. We share similar content all around personal finance, budgeting, like yeah, living your best life on a budget. So yeah, if you need any help, slide in the DMs, and yeah, I'd be happy to help you where I can. I'm sure Ruth wouldn't mind you sliding in her DMs either. And like I mentioned earlier, my new ebook, How I Paid Off £36,000 Debt, is in my bio. So if you want to grab a copy of that, then feel free to do so. But that's literally it for this episode, guys. So we've come to the end of episode 2 of season 2 of Tea Money Talks, and we'll be back same time next week. So yeah, thanks again, Ruth, for being on. I'll see you next week.
Bye, everyone.
Have a lovely evening, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody. Have a lovely evening, guys. Yeah. See ya.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.